Let's talk about one of the most important aspects of a relationship when you want to do a transaction or help somebody do a transaction in real estate. It's building trust. It starts from day one when you first meet them. You need to gain their trust because it is the foundation of your entire relationship. Once you establish it, you have to maintain it. It's not an automatic that it's going to stick with you. So you got to keep performing all along the way. And without having solid trust, doesn't matter what your skills are, what your knowledge is, what your tactics are, it's just not going to matter. You're going to lose that relationship. You're not going to be getting any referrals, and you're going to hope that you get it through to the end of the deal. One of the biggest roles that you have is as a fiduciary. And if you start your conversation with that and make sure that they understand that you are there looking out for their best interests above all else, that will help them understand what your goal is, what your role is, and have some trust in you. The other piece of that is gaining trust is in communication. Everybody communicates differently. You must know how they want to communicate with, text, fax, or email, phone calls, and when. Are they night owls? Are they during the day? Set a day maybe that's best for them when you're going to communicate with them every week. Have a calendar. The other thing is you need to listen. Doesn't matter when you speak to them or when they're talking to you. If you're not listening, it doesn't matter. You not only have to listen, you have to ask questions and keep getting the answers so that you understand their values. You understand their feelings and their desires, what's going to make them trust you and get them to the goal that they want in the most fluid way possible. So listen, listen, listen. The other piece, negotiation skills. Doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you've been doing this for a long time, you have a story that you should be able to use to help gain the trust and let them understand how well you negotiate and that anything you're doing, everything you're doing is all in their best interest and that you do have negotiation skills to get them the deal that they want. Action is what matters. All the words, it doesn't add up. You have to act. You have to be calling them when they're telling you to call them. You have to be doing what you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do it. And when you do it, tell them that you did it so that there's a constant flow of information. They're solidly tied to knowing that you're doing everything that's possible in their best interest. So I mentioned earlier, questions are important because the person who asks the questions controls the conversation. So I got some questions for you. Now, these may make you feel uncomfortable because you may not like the answers that the client's going to give you. That's a good thing, though, because most agents aren't going to ask this type of question. If you ask the questions, you control the conversation. And for you to understand what's going to build that trust, keep them happy, you have to listen and you have to ask these questions. So practice them and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Here we go. What qualities make you feel you can trust a real estate agent? No one's going to ask that except you. Have you worked with an agent before? What made you feel confident in their ability or what caused you to lose trust? How cool would that be if you knew what somebody else did that caused them to lose trust? Ask. Just ask. How important is transparency to you when buying or selling a property? You might assume, and I assume, that most people want to know everything that's going on and how it's going. Some people just want, call me when you have a deal, and they call me when it's closing time, and that's it. So make sure you understand what communication means to them. Do you value consistent updates and clear communication during the process? Would it make you feel more secure knowing I act as your fiduciary, putting your needs first? You might think that's simple. By asking that question, you're just reinforcing your value to them. So ask questions as often as possible. Stay curious. Take a moment, reflect on these questions. See if I'd love to hear if you think you'd ever ask them. If you have other questions that you think are important, please put them down below. Trust is the foundation of my approach, and I'd love to hear the thoughts that you have. So I hope you like what we're doing here. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Be your best. Have fun.